It takes every kind of people to make what life's about. Yeah, what's going on? So listen, I make movies in my head. I'm sure you do the same. Because for me, ever since I was a jit, I would be in class, right? I remember like in the first grade was the very first time I had this complex thought. I was just sitting down like, damn, what's wrong with me? Why am I thinking about all these fake ass characters, these fake ass scenes, these fake ass scenarios and stories and conversations? This can't be normal. This can't be what everybody else does. I'm like, damn, I'm so weird. I need psychiatric help. However, I probably wasn't the only one having those thoughts. I'm sure so many other people also had those thoughts, right? You think it's like, damn, this can't be what regular people do. Whole time everybody does it. Everybody just be sitting around thinking about these stories in their heads, but nobody actually just regularly talks about it, right? But for me, it just wasn't simple stories. No, it was like extremely deep, extremely detailed, fucking drawn out stories ever since I was a jit. And as I got older, right, I had the thought of, you know what? Maybe one day I'll stop. I'll become normal. Maybe one day I just won't even think about these stories in my head and I'll just be like everybody else. However, that day never came because till this day, I still do it. It's not only a favorite pastime, my nigga, it's a favorite hobby. Okay, I'm just sitting around, right? Nigga, bro thinking of a scene in his head. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta understand that, yo, this is my gift for real. This is my soul's blueprint in a sense because, again, ever since I was a jit, man, this has been sitting around in the classroom thinking of all these characters. All these scenes, man, has always had the ability of storytelling. And now people can relate to what the hell I'm saying here, right? Thinking you weird as shit for being so loving and enamored by storytelling. Creating your own universes, creating your own characters and stories in your head, wondering what's going on. So back to what I was saying, I figured that as I got older, I would stop. I would become normal. But that wasn't the case. Because I remember when the pandemic hit, I began to watch anime, right? And before that, I was like drawing some comics and whatnot, and I would think of them in my head only. But I would never bring them out into real reality in such detail. But when the pandemic hit, right, I started watching that anime and I created this story called Tenko Rejunku. Okay, I ain't never been so deep in a story in my life. From literally the years of like 2020 to 2023, this is all that I was thinking about. This story was massive to me. Okay, I got the main character right here. Full name is Tayo. The female lead, Akira. The hothead rival, Suji. We got Naoki, the best friend of the main character. Very warm and affable individual. And then we've got the sensei. Okay, his name Rikishi. Bro got a dark ass past. His wife done died. His daughter done died. All of his teammates when he was growing up, they done died. Right? I was really deep in it. I was trying to make this story so melancholic and so sad for no reason at all. I guess that was just what I was on. I thought that was cool. Making the story so edgy and so dark, but still had extreme depth to it, right? But the point of this video is that the head and the mind, the power of our brains, because this entire story I created was all in my brain. The only thing that was actually out in the world was all of these drawings I had, right? And this was incredibly personal to me. And I just knew that since this is animation, there is no way that I can get this out to people, that people can actually make this, because I just wasn't, at that certain level to create it. So all I could do was just draw it and think of the story in my head. Man, this shit is deep. Which leads me to my next thing. Is like, yeah, a live action movie, a live action TV series is one thing, right? But when you've got anime, when you've got animation, when you've got something that is made from scratch, something that literally you created the characters, the lines, the scenes, everything is from scratch, all up here in the fucking brain and your noggin, right? I feel like that is just so much crazier than something that's real, because you got the real locations, the real actors. Bros, if Timothy Chalamet dies in Dune, the nigga gonna be in Willy Wonka too. You know what I'm saying? But if an anime character dies, the nigga actually dead. That's what I was thinking. So when I was making Tenko and Rejunku, I was like, man, I could just only imagine how amazing it must feel for a mangaka to sit down after their anime. To sit down after doing 2+ hard ass years of work on the manga. Then for them to sit down and watch their anime, that was always insane to me, because it's like, wow, not only do they get to see their characters in color, you get to see their characters moving around, roaming around, speaking with actual voices behind them, music in the background, openings and closings. Shit, boy, that motherfucker brought straight to life. And that was always a big ass dream of mine. Like, damn, if I could just see my stories, especially like in animation, from scratch, right, be on the screen. I'm just sitting back, right, in the home theater, just watching it. Man, I could die right then and there. And like, I've always wanted to make movies, right? They say reach for the stars. That's the star I want to reach for. Making movies, animation and live action movies. The best of both worlds, you feel me? Because I see them both as amazing. But animation is, of course, something that's totally different. That shit'll have you orgasming in your pants, left, right, front, and center, you feel me? Goddamn. Yeah. Spitballing here, you know how I do. Shit. I wonder who feels this way as well. Probably a lot of people. Or hell, maybe nobody. Maybe I'm just talking to myself right here like I always do, huh? Yeah, I feel high as shit, bruh.